Hey everyone, it's Justine, and today I'm going to be doing a technique using stencils and Versamark, and I'm going to be using this really adorable Wish You Were Here stamp from Happy Little Stampers. So to get started, I am going to start with some washi tape to hold down my cardstock. I'm putting it on the side because my stencil isn't big enough actually to cover the entire card. But I'm putting it on my hand first to reduce the stickiness and the chance of it ripping my paper when I pull it back up. So I'm using this stencil here, and it has just a variety of hearts all over it in sort of a very grungy and messy look. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some Versamark on top of the stencil. Now you could add embossing powder after this and make a very interesting look that it's very bold and you see the pattern exactly through it. However, for me, I really wanted to make a very subtle background, and in the end it actually looked a lot like marbling. So what I did was I added the Versamark straight onto the stencil, and I'm just going to dry it for a couple of seconds with my heat gun. So I'm just drying my panel here so that the Versamark sets in. You can also not dry it, it would also work, but I thought I would just in case. And I'm using some of the new Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to be blending that into my background. I like the creamy look it gives it, and also the subtleness and that sort of pale milky look, so I wanted to use this because I didn't want a super dark vibrant background. So you can see how the ink is being resisted from the Versamark ink and how awesome that background is turning out. It looks actually almost like a marble. Because the background was so detailed, you can't really tell too much that it's hearts, but I do like the way that it turned out. So I'll show you a little closer up on the camera. I'm just going to clean up here, and you can see how that resisted there and how cool that looks in the background. Very, very subtle, but it gives that extra texture to your card. Next up, I'm just going to grab a heart die. You can grab any heart die that you have in your collection. I'm going to just go through that with the die cutting machine, and I am going to begin adding and embellishing my card. Alright, so now that I have everything here ready to go, I have my card front, I have my heart, I'm going to be using this stamp here, and this is the Wish You Were Here stamp from Happy Little Stampers. It's got this adorable little fashion diva, it's got the Eiffel Tower, I absolutely love the skyline, the bus, and then the Wish You Were Here. I had originally thought about doing a collage of these things, but then I decided against it. I wanted to make sort of a really nice Valentine's Day card. And since I'm in sort of a long-distance relationship at the moment, it's a perfect sentiment and very close to my heart. So I'm going to grab my magnet and then secure my heart in place. I'm going to stamp the Eiffel Tower in some fog ink from Simon Says Stamp and stamp that there into the center so that it's just creating sort of a little place of interest in the middle of my card, giving it that sort of romantic look, that French vibe, and then also with the pink, I think it looks really pretty with gray. And then over top of it, I'm going to be stamping a sentiment in black VersaFine Onyx ink, and I absolutely love this ink for stamping sentiments, and I'm going to stamp that actually twice in order to get a super dark look. And I'm able to do that because I'm using the Misty stamping tool, and it works out really well when you're stamping two things at once. So now that I have those, and I finished cleaning off my little Misty there, I have my heart ready to go, and then I'm just ready to embellish and add it to my card base. So I'm grabbing an A2 size card, measures 11 by 4 1/4 before it's folded, and then I fold it in the middle. I added my card front to that card there, and then the base, and then I'm going to add the heart as well. And I'm going to add the heart with some 3D foam tape so that it adds another little layer of texture. Then I add some Nuvo drops to embellish it. As everyone knows at the moment, this is my absolutely favorite thing to use to embellish cards because it's a cheap alternative and they last forever and they're just so cool, and I love how they form little circles every time. And it just takes a while to dry, so you do have to have some patience. And that's the end of today's card tutorial, so I hope you enjoyed this and the stamping that I did and the little technique I had to show you today. If you're interested in any of the products I used in this video, you're welcome to check out more information over on my blog. I also have a link to the Happy Little Stampers shop for that awesome stamp set, and then also a link to some more video tutorials if you'd like to check those out. Thanks so much for watching, everyone!